Okay, gonna go over a little bit of what I would call long-term preventative maintenance. Got a 8330 here, it's 2009 model. This of course got the 9-liter. And this tractor has I think around 3,600 hours on it. Years back I went ahead and got this valve turned into basically a phased out position, I guess they would call it, so it wasn't opening much. And I decided that since I'm going to keep this tractor, that it probably wouldn't hurt to go ahead and get it to where you can go ahead and remove this cooler assembly, and there's just not any problem. Kind of clean it up just like you do on, you know, diesel pickup or whatever. So I got it set up now where it will be phased all the way out, so the EGR valve there with a yellow plug can be unplugged. The other two sensors there on the block by the valve do have to stay plugged in, which is fine, because really actually having the valve unplugged isn't going to gain you very much, because it's not like there's anywhere where you can buy like a intake elbow or whatnot for these tractors, so you got to kind of come up with your own setup. So I went ahead and to get good access to this cooler so you can kind of come up with a plan on what you're going to do to get rid of it. Put the hood in a high lift position, which it's got the bracket that hangs right there that normally is bolted right here. And on any of these hoods, I think 20 series up for sure, obviously 30 series up, if you take the bolts here out of both sides, you can pick those hoods up and they'll set up like this, or they can go all the way forward and the nose will set down on the floor. The way the arm's designed, it just gives you a lot more room to do work. But I just thought I'd do a little video about what I'm kind of planning on doing, and then I'll do a follow-up on what I decide to do. I believe I'm going to go ahead and try to make some sort of a block. You can see right here, it's a little dark, but that's where the EGR, basically the inlet pipe, is off of the exhaust right underneath the turbo. And then what I'll do is we got a coolant line up on top, and then we have coolant line here on the bottom. So I believe the one on top actually goes to the front of the engine. So I'm going to be able to come on the bottom side. Over, see this a little bit. It's got a soft line here coming out, and then this is the hard line going into the cooler. So what I'm going to plan on doing is where I take this line off of here, I'm going to make basically a soft line that hooks up and through and back into where the connection is, so it can pass through and it doesn't need the cooler anymore to run that coolant line. And since there's nothing really made here to block off on the intake, possibly just trim the cooler and then put a cap right there. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this took apart, and then once I get done, I'll show you what I come up with and what I think will be a good long-term solution to clean this up.